The problem we're trying to solve with this tool called Flow comes out of engagements I've had with clients over many, many years, where someone will be responsible for some quote unquote process, new product design, something administrative, et cetera, development of new medications. And when you ask them what it is they're actually managing, beyond a sort of vague description, let's say hit to lead during drug discovery, they can't actually explain what the work is, who's involved in the work, what the tasks are, what the inputs are, what the outputs are, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, they're trying to manage something which is entirely nebulous. Because it's nebulous, management really then becomes a matter of firefighting, expediting, kind of bungee management, dropping into the latest crisis, trying to contain the crisis before being yanked down and then dropped into the next one. And what we realized is the part of the root cause of that behavior was the lack of a visualization and a shared visualization of the process that everyone could look and say, oh, that's my work, that's who's involved, that's what I do, this is who I depend on, this is the person who depends on me, these are the collaborative conversations I should be in. So when we try to solve for that problem of shared visualization, we went back to basics, Post-it notes on walls and, yarn connecting relationships. And, that worked pretty good if you have everyone in the same room and you have enough Post-it notes and yarn and that sort of thing. It was powerful, but, of limited application. When we try to do something that was a little more enduring and shareable, particularly during COVID, what we found is that the available tools, PowerPoint, Visio, et cetera, because they're not deliberately designed and tuned for the mapping of these collaborative processes, they were very, very hard to use. So anyway, we created a tool which is quick and easy, and we think fairly intuitive, just a bunch of left clicks, right clicks, so you can build a fairly sophisticated map. So as an example, let me just show you here. We want to create a new map, so we go test map, and we'll create a task, which we'll call task 1, and we'll assign it to a team member. We'll call team member 1, and boom, we're creating a map. Now I'll just show you real quick how we build this out. So the blue boxes, that was off our nomenclature with Post-it notes, of blue Post-it notes for people and yellow Post-it notes for tasks. So with a couple of right clicks, we add another person to the team, and then to make this a little more meaningful, add a third person to the team. And you could imagine that as our students are going through this exercise, they can be thinking, oh yeah, I forgot somebody. Who did I forget? Let me add someone else. Oh, I forgot to include Anne on the team. Or then they're reflecting on this more and they say, oh, we forgot to include Bella on the team. Anyway, they can go through this exercise and we can guide them through it with some of the instructional material of just capturing the names of the people involved. And then the second action is to start, and then we have this written out also, we can create a tutorial like this that once they've done that, then it's time to start capturing some of the tasks involved in the work. So, to make this simple, we'll call this task 2. We'll call this one task 3, so on and so forth. I just, throw in a couple others here just to make it look a little more interesting. One more. All right, and so what we've done real quick, and again, you can imagine trying to do this in Visio or PowerPoint, click and drag, and what shape am I going to use? So we've built out our team, and then we've built out our set of tasks, and then we can just sort of left click and drag, say, oh, who does task 2? Well, person 2 in this case, team member 2, team member 3. We'll have Ann do task 4. Bella maybe does task 5. And we say, oh, wait a second, we've got that wrong. No, it's Bella who has that one, and Ann has that one. So you can see in really a matter of seconds or even just a few minutes, we can start building out a fairly complex process just by a couple of right clicks to add a team member, a couple other right clicks to add a task, so on and so forth. Now, as we started introducing in the that module around the design of systems, One of the things we say is that we have to think in terms of roles, who's person one, who's person two, who's person three, responsibilities, what tasks am I responsible for versus what tasks are you responsible for? We can do responsibilities. But the other thing we try to emphasize is the importance of relationships. And in order to have a well-functioning process, we have to have an understanding of what is it that I do on behalf of someone else. And again, to this idea of having a tool to make these visualizations very quick and easy, we can do that and make these connections, again, really quick, really easy to show the flow of work through the system. And again, it needn't be quite as so simple and linear as this. We can have tasks which feed into multiple tasks. In this case, we could have other tasks which are fed by multiple tasks, like in this. And then this allows us to get into some sort of diagnosis. So for example, if we think that in fact maybe Bella's better adept at doing task 4, we can say, oh, we should really have this task done here. We should really have Anne doing this task here. So anyway, the point is that this tool is very, very easy to generate the flow of work, very easy to manipulate it. For example, if we decide, oh no, we don't want that handoff, we can remove it. We can move the task around. We can say, oh, this task actually takes longer. There's a time gap between one and the other. A lot of things we can put on this. So anyway, that's just sort of a quick how-to in terms of building a fairly simple map. The other thing I'd show is that not only can we do that, but we've built some functionality into these maps. So here's another example. This is a simplified mapping of a phase in drug development called Hit to Lead. And you can see we've populated this. We've got our medicinal chemists, we've got material transport people who are responsible for data management, biologists doing their work in their lab. And you notice that we've got the various tasks over here. And one thing we can do is, as these maps get more and more complex, we can group tasks. You see this with these gray boxes. And so if we want to focus on one part of a process and less on another, we can, we can collapse these things. So we can look at certain parts of the process without being distracted by others. We can zoom in when we choose to zoom in, that sort of thing. And as we take this even a step further and want people to start thinking about not only roles, who's in the process, responsibilities, what do they do, and then this issue of relationships, inputs becoming outputs, becoming inputs for somebody else. We can also have them, if they want, throw some more detail. So for example, if we want to some standard work on how to do a job, we can attach images, video, text. If we want to have more clarity in terms of what the output of a task might be, we can put that in. And the whole idea here is that with very little aggravation, again, quick and easy is the theme here, we can have people build out the current condition of their processes. And then as we teach them, as we go through the course, they can start manipulating the processes to create a target condition. And again, the whole idea is make this really quick, really easy, and wildly accessible. So anyway, that's a quick demonstration of our product, C2Solve, again, with the various examples we've worked through. And as we go through this, if you or your teammates at Emeritus have some other questions about this, certainly let me know, let my colleagues know, and we'll get going from there. But anyway, I'm really delighted. Like I said, this tool has had some really great utility with some clients already. And it seems this is a, kind of a force multiplier for what we're trying to build together with this online asynchronous version of our MIT course offering. So anyway, for tonight, that's it, over and out, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.